bring in macro business chief economist Leith Van Onselen. Leith, great to see you tonight. Look, the former RBA Governor Philip Lowe spoke at this conference in Hong Kong yesterday, and he said he was concerned that central banks haven't raised rates high enough. Kind of an odd comment, seeing as he was just literally the RBA Governor. But do you agree with him?
Look, I honestly think Australia's probably done enough on interest rates. The fact of the matter is we actually had inflation data come out today, and what it actually shows is that inflation's now falling because we've got this global goods deflation across the world. So that's all the stuff you bring in by boat from overseas. That's falling the worldwide. And what that's actually showing is that inflation's now coming down. And I think we've probably, we're probably past the high point in Australia. And I think the RBA has probably done enough. And it's probably the same situation globally because we've got, falling goods inflation all around the world. So I think on that front, he's probably wrong, and that we might have actually seen the peak.
That would be good news, although he did say that there were concerns that we might not reach that target range of 2 to 3% by 2025. I mean, if we don't reach it by 2025, that would be more than 4 years with above target level inflation. It just shows how difficult life is for Australians. I also want to ask you about the new RBA Governor Michelle Bullock's comments that she said there's political noise around the 13 rate hikes and that families are actually holding up okay. I mean, that doesn't seem to be the reality from what we're hearing from hundreds of thousands of Australians and businesses as well.
Yeah, look, the problem is the RBA Governor is looking at households as a whole, and what we're seeing is that individual households are cutting back expenditure on average. And we saw that in this week's retail sales data, whereby retail sales only grew by 1.2% in the year to October. Now, that's way below the level of inflation, and that's actually below population growth. And what that tells you is that we're actually cutting back on spending. The problem with it is we've obviously got the federal government fire hosing in record numbers of people. So they brought in 500,000 net migrants last financial year. And what that's doing is while individual households are cutting back, the number of households is increasing at a fast rate. And what that's doing is it's basically holding up overall household spending. So individually, we're doing it tough. And there's another aspect to that, Shari. The bulk of the spending that is being done is actually being done by older Australians who don't have mortgages and aren't renting. So we've had some data come out from CBA last week, which actually showed that older Australians are spending way above the inflation rate, whereas younger Australians under 40 are actually cutting back their expenditure because they're getting smashed by these mortgage rates and rents.